Good evening everyone, and welcome to week 4 of the Flowering Tulips coffee and card. And today we're going to be not making a card, it's Flowering Tulips Crafty Cuppa, so I'm feeling a bit safer now. It's actually flowering, so today we're going to actually do a bit of crafting instead of, well, crafting not to make a card, but crafting to make a little mini bag. So here we go. I am going to, I've cut you your quarter packs in 6" by 12" because I think it just gives you a couple more options. But these actually need to start from a 6" by 6" piece of paper. So this is great for the smaller stacks. And I am going to hopefully get this right. From each little 6" by 6" piece of paper, I'm going to cut 1/2 centimetre strip from the bottom. Yeah. And yeah, there's my other 6" by 6" strip. So you have to be quite careful with the orientation of this. I've already done it wrong once, so we'll see how it goes. And then once you've done that, you score 3/4 inch from each side in the portrait, which means that, remember to score as well, which I almost thought I didn't. So what I mean by portrait is that means it's longer this way than it is wider this way. And let's have another go. That's 3/4 inch. I'm just going to double check. Hopefully you can see my, yeah, you can see my trimmer. Last time I did this you couldn't see my trimmer. So this is portrait again, so it's going to be ¾ inch and 3/4 inch. And now I'm going to use my bone folder. Well, I don't actually use a bone folder because I don't like to use animal products. Yeah, I do need to keep my trimmer handy. So this bit is going to go down. So at the top of your bag, this is going to be the top of your bag. This is how I worked out. And this bit goes that way inside. So I'm doing it so this flowery bit's on the outside, which is quite odd. And then you do the same again here. So pretty much with this, you do the same to each piece. It is the same to each piece. To each 6" by 6" piece. And now to create that lovely trim effect, I'm going to glue this down, the top flat down. Oh, there's a lot of shadows going on. It's very, very bright today. Let me get a glue that's a bit more flowing. I'm gonna remember last time I put a bit too much glue on this. Hopefully this time it won't be so bad. And again, let's glue this down. That's down. So you'll end up with 2 pieces like this. And now I'm going to score these sideways. Now this is going to be this, and this is the hard bit. It's the same side on each piece, which seems really, really strange. So score that. So you're going off this one. I know someone who's going to absolutely love this because they're more of an inches person. So this is 5 3/4. 5 1/4, and 4 3/4 inch. Just checking you can still see it there. And then, so the same this side as well. So it's 5 3/4, 5 1/4, and 4 3/4. Yeah, there you go. So 2 identically scored pieces, which seems ever so strange. Can you see? So you should have 3 fold lines. Hopefully you can see them like so. And I'm going to concertina fold each piece. This is the size of our bag, like this, this. Ooh. This, I think I made quite a few of these for teachers' gifts for Christmas, and yeah, they're can be a bit hard doing this tiny little fold here and getting it quite right. Yeah, that looks level. And again, concertina fold in so you can see it. Oh, that sun's bright, isn't it? And this. A little bit of glue here. But I've already lost my glue eraser somehow. There we go. So with this, so here I will be snipping this little triangle, the smallest rectangle that you can see it, this little tiny rectangle here made by the score lines. And then this flap across going to be made, I'm going to make the bottom, and here just cut a couple of slithers because we're going to be gluing these. Like so. And then same here. I love this one, it's quite easy to show people because there's a lot of repetition. You're cutting out the tiny rectangle here, and the flap, so there we go, 2 identical bits again. Now the beauty's in the gluing. So I'm going to glue this tiny little flap on first. Oh, it's a lot of glue. So what I do with this, I tend to spread it with like a bit of scrap paper when I've got a bit too much on. So because you can see that would peep over the side. And then I've got a little bit of extra glue for next time, to be fair, so I'll put that there. Glue it on as straight as I can. I'll probably do this next bit as quick as I can because I'll have a bit more wiggle room. And yeah, that will go across and try and line it up those pieces like so. And then I like to glue these bits together next. So I just need, you can use your glue, a bit of glue on these bottoms here. And one of these flaps here are going to be the bottom bit. And in fact, it is working well actually, having that little scrap to adhere. So let's make this the bottom bit. Get this glue out. And try not to be too stingy with the glue because I'm trying to get it all to hang together, but still it's a difficult one. And I'm going to attach, I'm going to put a bit of glue on these ones as well. I'm just going to lay it flat so you can see exactly. So one flap's got no glue at all on. This is going to be one flap, and then all the little flaps at the bottom, you can see I've got a bit of glue on here. One flap no glue, and then all the little flaps have got glue on the bottom, and this big flap's got something. I'm going to angle my flaps so they go over the top here. Whoop. And then you see it's gonna, that's what the concertina bit is. So I get this to meet that one if I can. Don't remember the construction bit being this difficult, but hey. Oh, getting glue everywhere, got gluey hands. I might have to go wash my hands in a minute. This bit goes over the top. Sometimes it is a little gap, but I think this is more due. Yeah. There's a bit of fiddling. I think I might have dried it whilst, it might have dried a bit too much whilst I, let's put a little bit of a gap and try and straighten it up. Good thing about Tombow, you get that little bit, so I've left like a tiny little gap here, even though these are the same length. I tuck these little fellas in here and apply some glue to this final little flap here. Possibly a bit too much again, so I'll take a bit off. Like so. Put a little bit more on this little flap here. And I'm just going to pinch it together as best as I can, get it all to line up. So this is the bit where liquid glue really comes into its own. I feel that if I had like a glue that's quite fast, it would be a bit harder to do. Can you see the start of that? You got a little concertina. Oh, and if you got any bits that feel like they need a bit more glue, don't worry, because I'm getting that right now. And this is how you know I like to do all one take, because I want to show you the mistakes, because if you see someone do it straightforward way, you won't know where to add bits and bobs and possible bits that might go a bit skew-iffy or wrong. And sometimes this is the bit where pegs come in handy, so you could peg this together. And then I did find that these little flaps at the bottom like to come out. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm using my bone folder to reach inside, get these flaps stuck down. Oh, it's really hard with the sun. I'm very sorry about that. Can't really control the sun, I'm afraid. Yeah, so there we go. There's the little bag. There's my little bag so far. I've actually managed to get it the right way up. Hurrah! And I feel like I've got quite sticky hands from all that. So you might want to try with a piece of scrap paper first, to be honest. Now, people have different ways of doing this. You can glue your straps in. You kind of need to do a bit of bending here and matching, because it's quite strong paper. You might want to wrestle a little bit. For those of you who like it even, it's about 1 inch from each side. I'm just kind of eyeballing it at the moment. I found that I did need to hold the flaps in, so you can do it this way if you want, or that way. But you are creating a bit of a contrast if you want. I'm going to do it this way so it's kind of blended in. And these are like your little handles. I pinch it in until it dries a bit longer. Hope you can see. You can see what I'm doing quite well. See all my stamping behind it, can't you? I feel like this needs to be in a bit more. I think because it's a bit manipulated and held in a bit of a different position to what it wants to be, I'll just hold it a bit longer. There we go, and it's kind of sticking now. And same again with this one. So you've got that twisty turny flap. I've just realised that it's actually better for the twisty turn to be the other way, isn't it? Maybe. See how it goes. It's going this way now. You can, I think over Christmas I put like a little candle in and stuff in there. A candle and a couple, or like a few chocolates, like a tea light candle and a few chocolates. I made lots of them for teacher gifts. It was quite on the ball. It's quite early as well, for me in a way. And then same again, stick it down, try and hold it in place for as long as you can while it dries a bit more. That look even. I'm not the even queen, so yeah. If you're an even person, you might want to practice with a few scraps. I love the way that this little handbag has its own trim, and because you've got double-sided papers, it happens a bit more easily for you. There we go. That's quite well glued. I'm going to leave it to dry for a little bit on the side. I'm going to choose my sentiment. I'm not sure which one I'm thinking of. So if you have got your own dies, you can have a selection of what you want. I think I quite fancy just a little shape. I want to be able to fit this little "just thinking of you today." I think it will just about squeeze on there. What do you think? I think it's going to go into stitching there. Right. Don't have sticky dies. So that was I've just noticed that I've got some very fancy little shapes in the scallop contour dies. That would fit. Yeah, I'm going to put "No one deserves a happy birthday than you" into here, and I think that would fit. Now, let's just put "just thinking of you today." And if you stamp a couple of leaves in your purpose as green ink that you got in your kit, that kind of fills the space up a little bit, I find. So let's have a go with that. Got a piece of white card. Still got my old Big Shot here. As with the more detailed ones, I tend to go in and out with it just to help it come out a bit quicker. Oh, this one's got little darts. How cool is that? Can you see that? Yeah. There we go. And I often find with the more decorate things, you don't need to try as hard to decorate it. Now let's mount our stamp. Which one was going to do? Just thinking of you today. Yeah, it'll just about squeeze into the middle. You could possibly squeeze in the let's have a look. Love you so much, and no one deserves a yeah, you could squeeze in that "no one deserves a happy birthday." You know, I'm going to just do a "thinking of you today." Let's get that blank memento. As I always say, you need a blanking pad on top of your basic craft kit, plus your glues and dimensionals. I'm going to do my little stamping off. I'm going to be risky. I'm not now this is going to be a case of can Uma get it straight, which is sometimes not the case, and I end up having to do something devious to hide it. Or clever, should I say, inventive. Just thinking of you today. Oh, yeah. That's a bit too much outside of the remit. So, let's see. Well, so I won't be including that die into your packs, and I think it's a similar thing for the opposite side. Yeah, so scratch that. We'll use a different scallop contour. We'll use a slightly bigger one because I really wanted to have a thinking of you today one. Might just go for a happy birthday one now. Here we go. I find these little gift bags are great for a little standby if you just want to give a little impromptu to gift. Oh, that's a little fella. So like I say, it's yours to decorate with, and I've made that mistake with a little one. You won't be getting that in your kit. Right, start again. So here's a trick: if your sentiment doesn't feel big enough to fill your just thinking of you today, and you feel me trembling, I think I'm always in fear of not doing it, not lining up quite. As long as it's straight, I know I can. Oh, that's straight. Look. Can you see the little cutouts? And so, as you can see, no one deserves a happy birthday, and you will quite easily step on that. But here's a technique for getting your sentiments to fit. So you've got these beautiful leaves, and there's definitely 2 of them. Yep, there. You can just use those leaves with your Pear Pizzazz ink to fill in a bit of extra detail, because I didn't want to include too many ink pads, otherwise you'd end up paying a lot for your kit. Let's grab that Pear Pizzazz. And then you can use it a bit stamped off, but make it look a little bit different. There. Oh, just realised that, and that can happen quite often as well. So I'm gonna sort of disguise that with a bit of extra stamping. Oh, good save, Uma, good save. And just gonna use, and same again here. I'm just actually gonna do this one first, this one second, and then I'm going to stamp off plainly on here onto my scrap, and then do that to avoid doing the same thing I did last time, which has created a bit of error that only I would see. Oh, in fact, I have got the ultimate cover-up thing, which is an embellishment. Excellent news. Now, I hope you can see you don't need to be symmetrical. And if you had an orange, well, it's a pumpkin pie actually that goes with this, you could decorate a bit differently. But that's one way to get like a smaller sentiment to fit a larger die cut. I'm just going to glue it now onto here. Sorry, I just realised I did that off camera. It's going onto here. Like so. Now if you notice any gaps, you can just try and firm them up here. And then we've got our little embellishments to go on. Yeah, I'm going to tidy up that little line that I've got here with a bit of a butterfly. And that's another little way to just, and I like my unevens because they just cover up a lot of irregularities. If you want, you can tie a bit of ribbon around the handles. This time I'm not going to. If we've got a bit of gold or green or orange ribbon, there we go, fine. But yeah, there you go. There's a little bag for the Flowering Tulips Crafty Cuppa. Hope you've enjoyed that. And I'll see you next week for the final week at 7 o'clock.